All right. Don't at me like that. Okay, whatever. Welcome to the Nerd Spectrum podcast. Daisy's losing her mind. Calling our dogs different ethnicities or nationalities. Yeah, so that's a little weird.
I didn't give Cleo one.
No, but you said she looks like a...
You're right. She's most definitely like Egyptian.
No. Well, the eyes, actually, maybe a little bit.
Exactly! And her name is Cleo, so it's fitting.
No, Cleopatra?
Exactly.
I can't stand you. So today we're talking Game of Thrones, because we're down to 3 episodes. How's that make you feel?
Oh, God. Like, I feel like we've gotten to the point where, like, whoever isn't dead is, like, safe, but, like, I know that's not the case because there's still 3 more episodes and anything goes. So I'm like, part of me is like, I can relax, but then the logical part of me is like, no, there is no time to relax.
Ned getting his head cut off.
The part of me that remembers every single character getting killed off that's, like, noble and good.
Yeah. So I think A Knight of the Seven Kingdom was 69, because everybody was, like, making the joke that it's 69. Yes. And The Long Night is 70, so this is basically a 73-hour movie. Or, like, a 73-episode just story. With, like, ranging times. But, like, you know what I mean? Just giving them all the general, like, hour time limit. That's wild to think about. That, like, in, let's say, like, a year or two, when the box set that we will inevitably buy comes out, just imagine trying to marathon all that.
That's a full, like,
that's a weekend, yeah. Not a week. You crazy?
I'd take that time off.
I think you're just taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I am.
But, you know, there have been, like, so many, like, crazy kind of endings, and now we're finally at the point where it's like, we don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about a Jon Snow getting murdered by the Knights of the Black and, you know, being like, okay, Jon's dead now, I guess, and then he comes back.
And it's like, psych.
Yeah. So we're going to be going over these a little chronologically, as opposed to just, like, combining them all. But, like, did you notice that the first 3 episodes are basically predominantly Winterfell?
Yeah.
Like, there's no...
Anywhere else?
There's no...
Well, there is only
everywhere
2.
else is dead.
Yeah, there's only 2 places where any of this... Well, I guess the Iron Islands.
Yeah, but
like, there's like, nobody there.
Yeah.
All of their people are, like, on 3 ships.
Yeah, because I don't think Euron uses them exclusively, but Yara did. Yara and Theon used their kind exclusively.
Their
nationality.
Like a weird species or something.
Okay,
they're people.
The Iron Islanders are a little weird. They basically are like, they're gonna drown you, and if you drown and don't come back, you're not king. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does. They are their own weird. Like, I wouldn't want to mess with them.
You're right. I wouldn't want to meet them in a dark alley. Did you clear my phone?
Yeah, I cleaned all your cosplay stuff too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I'm great. Great husband material right here. Anyway, so we didn't even see the Iron Islands in the first 3 episodes. Yara was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go back. But if you want to go to Winterfell, Theon, you go and do it.
Yeah.
Which was nice. So starting off with Winterfell. No deaths, luckily. Deaths. Yes, there's 1 death, right?
Who?
Umbar, Lord Umber. The little kid, the 12-year-old.
Oh. No, that was the 2nd episode.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, because in the 2nd one, Ed and,
Oh, no, you're right,
yeah, Beric show up, so you get that weird, creepy, ominous ending in the first one where...
he's like, watch out! He has blue eyes.
Yeah.
I've always had blue eyes.
I love Tormund. He's, like, the best. I'm so happy he's not dead. But, like, okay, we'll talk about that because there are some criticisms I have on Winterfell where people probably should have died, but didn't. So Winterfell, what happens? Daenerys shows up. You have, like, that. They
have black people and they're all like, what?
Yeah. Their first time seeing a different race, which is, well, maybe not their first time, but, like, it's so uncommon in the North.
I feel like it's most definitely some of their first times.
Well, yeah, but, like, people travel, like, regardless, you know what I mean? Like, there's no docking around Winterfell like there is in King's Landing, where it's, like, a constant flow people coming in and out, different nationalities, different races. But you have Dany coming in the same way Robert came in. You know what I mean? You have Arya watching just like she did the first time, all excited. Some people thought that Bran was working into that kid that climbed the tree to see the
Yeah, I saw that, and I was
train.
like, that's stupid. He would just get into a bird, duh.
Yeah, why do that when you're the three-eyed raven?
Oh my god, all those memes, though, the best.
Right? It ends with Jaime showing up, which is kind of like the big thing, because there's not a lot going on in the first episode.
It's just everyone kind of meeting. Is mainly just everyone finally getting, or not even everyone. It's mainly the Starks finally getting back with each other, being like, oh my god, thank god you guys are alive.
Arya sneaking
Well,
up.
minus Bran, because, like, he's a weirdo.
He's not Bran.
Jon and the sisters.
Yeah. And then the three-eyed raven. The
Just
artist,
chilling.
the child formerly known as Bran.
Exactly.
Jon shows up and he's like, you're a man now. And he's like, almost. And then nothing. Blank
And
stare.
then
Jon's just
like, okay.
And the show completely acknowledges that too, where it's like, Tarly, Sam, where Sam's like, whatever Bran has, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So, well, okay, there's a few big drops, right? Like, the Golden Company shows up. They're like 300,000 men or like 3,000, whatever. They're a big number strong. And Cersei's like, all right, we're good. And she's really disappointed that they did not bring elephants.
I really don't know what she would do with elephants, though.
Throw men? Trample men?
Like, I get that they're, like, stomping, but, like, elephants in general are, like, pretty, like, neutral, tranquil creatures.
Unless they're like the Lord of the Rings elephants, where they're like freakishly tall, freakishly massive, like they're basically giants. Well, the giants had mammoths, right? On the other side of the wall, because when they're storming Castle Black, they have mammoths that are pulling the gate open.
Yeah.
But that means there's northern elephants, mammoths, and somewhere in Essos there's elephants.
There's regular elephants.
But in the south, as far as like Westeros is concerned, no elephants.
Maybe she just really wanted a circus.
She saw Dumbo and she was like, I'm feeling this.
Yeah. She was like, I want a flying elephant.
Do you think she's pregnant?
I don't know.
You're
because,
on
like,
saying I'm going to put a baby in that belly. And then but the way that season 7 ended, where she's like, Jaime, I'm pregnant.
Yeah. And also, like, I've seen people be like, she can't be pregnant because she's drinking wine. It's like, first off, this is like the fucking Middle Ages. Like, nobody knew that drinking throughout your pregnancy was, like, bad and had a bad effect on your babies. Like, that's not gonna fucking stop anyone. Like, people smoked in the 50s when they were pregnant. Like, that's, like, in modern day. People do drugs. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Not to mention creepy necromancer Maester Qyburn, would probably figure a way to fix it. He'd be like, your baby's fine. It's cool. We got this.
They're like, let's do some black magic on it.
Yeah, I resurrected the mountain. I'm sure you're...
He's like, I'll figure your baby out. I'll fix its weird face.
Euron finally got with Cersei. Which is weird. Because she's only been
I also really like the memes of people, like, quoting Cersei being like, you want a whore, buy her. You want a queen, earn her.
I didn't see any of those.
I did, because they were like, all these basic bitches are going to be quoting their pictures with this, not realizing that she let him fuck, like, 5 minutes later.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, she really, like, was like, you know what? I wasn't going to put out, but, like, I see I have no choice.
That was well, not to continue on that point, because you're right, and, like, but that's really all you get from King's Landing, right? That's like the only
That's
scene?
it. Yeah, you just get the fact that she
that
has
happens.
an army now, essentially, and they have sex, and then she sends Braun.
Oh, right. She sends Braun to murder Tyrion and Jaime. With what's his name?
Joffrey's.
Yeah, Joffrey's crossbow. That's so fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
But she paid him.
At least.
And Braun didn't let Jaime die because he wanted money. He didn't let Tyrion die because he wanted the castle and the lady.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I mean? It's just like, she paid in full, like, she prepaid. She's like, I'm doing this. I want this to happen.
Yeah. But you don't really get much. And, like, I didn't actually answer the question about Cersei being pregnant. I
don't think she's pregnant.
You don't?
Well, there was the prophecy, right? That was...
With the witch?
Yeah, the witch.
Well, she said that she would have 3 kids. She gave birth and had 3 kids. Like, if this pregnancy doesn't, like, follow through, like, if she never gives birth to this baby, it doesn't count.
Do you think that's... Well, I mean, they did the
That's
red wedding.
how magic works.
Well, no, I was like, you think they'd kill a pregnant lady? And then I was like, well, they did the red wedding. And
yeah, exactly. They stabbed that pregnant lady right in the belly.
Oh, that was such a hard scene to watch. That messes me up.
So...
I think
she's
dies. She's pregnant and she dies for giving birth to it.
Either that or like it's just
a stillborn.
Yeah, or something like tragic like that.
Does that count as giving birth though? If you still deliver it though,
it's still giving birth, but it's not alive.
That's okay. Well, then I think that takes away. I think she dies before the pregnancy. Then, if that's the case. What else happened? Well, from King's Landing, like not moving on, but kind of moving on. Theon still steals Yara away. He rescues her, and he gets that redemption. She punches the shit out of him, which annoys me because Theon
headbutts him.
Yeah, Theon can't catch a break, man.
He really can't, but it's just like I don't know.
He's so damaged. The first person that shows him affection is like Sansa.
When that happened in the last season, that their ships got overtaken, and they were like, he was like the only one that had the potential to get away, and it's like...
He would have died.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I think Yara is like smart enough to know that was probably the wisest choice, but obviously at the time, like, it hurts because you're like, you're my brother. I want you to fucking...
defend the family.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like... But it's like, they're also, like, it's them and no one else. Like, they're the last of their... Greyjoys. Exactly. And then Theo can't have any freaking kids.
I get you.
So it's like, that's all there is. So, like...
And even Euron makes a point of that, where he's trying to get her to drink with him because he's like, I can't kill you, you're the last of us. Like, we're the last of us.
Yeah. And it's like, he's noble enough to not, like, end their bloodline.
Is that nobility, or is that just a weird familial pride thing?
I mean, it's probably more pride than anything, but, like, it's really, like...
Because if he's anything...
Family lines are fucking wild, man.
Well, because they're getting cut off left and right. Sorry. They're getting cut off left and right. The Tyrells. Sam's the last male in the Tarly family.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Little Sam? No, well, he's Craster's kid. He's not even Sam's kid.
Yeah, Little Sam isn't even his kid.
My bad.
And he's still technically in the Night's Watch, so he, like, unless they, like, completely disband that, because they don't really have a reason to
Oh, yeah, because he went from the Night's Watch to become their new maester.
Yeah, so, like... If they're like, well, this doesn't exist anymore, then he can go and, like, get married to Gilly and, like, have kids and continue his bloodline. But, like, that's all kind of, like, up in the air right now.
What else? The Freys are dead.
Yeah.
There's just, like, everybody's getting, like, axed up. The Mormonts, as of the Long Night.
The Starks, technically, because, like, there are only girls left because Jon's not a Stark.
Well, Bran can...
No, he can't.
We don't know that he can't.
I think that's why he said he's not a full man.
You think so?
I think that's why.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like in the beginning, there was a lot of emphasis on you're a man once you kill your first person. So, whether you're a man because you kill somebody or a man because you sleep with somebody, up for debate.
Sure.
So then leaving King's Landing for all 5 minutes it was granted, and going back to Winterfell, there's some obvious issues, politically speaking, with Dany, Sansa, Jon, and the people of the North, because they're like, you brought the Dragon Queen here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Which, like... Lady Lyanna was like, you went to her a king, and you come back, and she almost lets bitch out, and I wanted it so bad.
I love her.
I just wanted to put everybody in their place.
Hell yeah, but she's like,
Yeah, she stopped. She's
like, not trying
to
get on the bad side already. But yeah, I mean, like, Jon had a point. Like, they have a common enemy, and he did what he needed to do for his people to make sure that they all don't fucking die.
I don't know if in the long run that, like, obviously, we know how the Long Night ended, but I don't think that it mattered much considering the way things went down, basically to the last second in the Long Night.
Yeah, but I like, if they didn't have Dany's army...
Yeah,
it would not have gone down like that in any way. Like, they would have essentially been fucked.
No, they would have definitely been fucked. They were basically fucked.
Until the very end.
The very last second, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, what can you do? You do what you gotta do and everything.
I think my problem with that is, like, nobody appreciates that aspect of it. They're not, like, I understand they're trying to be their own, like, kingdom, essentially, but, like...
They just want to be left alone.
Well, yeah. But, like, no one's like, the greater good.
Yeah.
I mean, Dany's sort of the greater good, but then we quickly see with her and Sansa that, like, the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
The Iron Throne.
Which is, like, wild, because if you have all of this kingdom, like, you have 6 out of the 7, like, why can't you just let that 7 go? But, like, whatever. So, man, I feel like Dany's gonna die. Just because, like, throughout the first episode, and even in the second episode, you just totally see her go from, like, when she first got power and, like, freeing all the slaves and Essos and all this stuff and, like, trying to be, like, better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a good leader and stuff. And, like, that's why people follow her, because she is, like, she freed all the slaves and she, like, wants all this stuff. But, like, ever since she got to Westeros and is, like, it's fucking in my grasp, like, I'm about to get this Iron Throne.
It's like senioritis, though.
But she's, like, not even. Because senioritis, you get lazy.
Or you get that mad dash where you just... Well, okay, that laziness stems from being done, right? You're about to finally finish, like... But
she's, like... But you can see her slowly just become so much more, like, power hungry. And it's kind of like to a fault. Like, she can't... Like...
She can't let it go for an episode?
Yeah, like, in the second episode, at the end of the second episode, whenever Jon's like, it's a me, your nephew, we fucked...
I don't think...
Well, I mean, he didn't say it like that. But, you know, like, I kind of feel like that's more, like, where he's coming from.
No, that's where everybody's coming from. And then... No, I disagree with that. Because the first thing... And, okay, so we're going to reel back to the first episode. When Sam's like, you're, you know, the guardian of the 7 kingdoms, the whole 9, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The first thing Jon says isn't, oh, I'm fucking my aunt. He's like, she's the queen. That's his very first words. Daenerys is my queen. And then it's like, but she shouldn't be. You have the right to the throne, not her. So even Jon is not like, shit, incest is wincest. He's like, well, now I'm if I say anything, it's treason.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like, she's just
maybe
like...
it's a Targaryen thing. Maybe they're just like, you know, we've heard about the family thing so often. It's just like,
Yeah, maybe they're just used to the incest that it's like, whatever anymore. But, like, you know, like, her first thought isn't like, what? Kind of, or any shock, or like, there's nothing to it. It's just, you have a claim to the Iron Throne, and then she looks like really pissed off.
Well, as she should be. Because that's just a lot of more dudes that are going to be like, king, dick, so go sit on the throne. Because bloodlines and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, that sort of tackles everything from episode 1, isn't it? Because the big thing was they didn't even like wait. The first episode, they're like, Jon, you're Aegon Targaryen.
Yeah, I was like, I honestly thought they were gonna wait a little longer for that, but then
they just slap it right on.
They're just like, here you go, bitch. Like, welcome.
Welcome to the Dragon Clan.
Welcome, King. I also like that they like that there was like hints of it. Like, obviously we know, but there's like hints of it in like the episode, like the fact that he can ride a dragon. Mm-hmm. It's like
he could lead the dragon because he like kind of messes with his not his scales, like, but his little spines.
Yeah, the little like horns that come out of it. It's like when like throughout history it is shown that only the Targaryens are able to like do anything with dragons.
Yeah. So
it's like, oh, here's a little hint, Jon. Like, you're stupid. Come on. Like, what? Like, any other person would not be able to do this, kind of thing.
Yeah. So then moving on to episode 2, which both these episodes are just a shit ton of exposition. There's really no... It's all storytelling, reuniting, whatever.
And facing the fact that we're all gonna die.
Yeah, it's all just leading to that one of the conclusions, anyway.
Yeah.
So Jaime shows up. Which, okay, we gotta touch on something real quick. So, you have people... Did you see the guy that... It was in Japan. We talked about the endgame thing. or we've talked about this, where it's like Marvel's people will go and spoil shit. Not, not like everybody, but you have people that will go spoil Marvel movies and scream out this or scream out that. Or like when we saw Venom, someone was just like, and Carnage was at the end.
Beat him up.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay,
that guy ran into a theater, screamed out who died and whatever, and people beat him up and left him on the street.
Honestly, like, that's really mean, but like, same.
Yeah, they talked about
maybe not
it.
like badly where he's like left on the street, but like I definitely would like kick him. Like get a needle and like poke him, like do something to make him uncomfortable, because that's fucked up.
Wouldn't you get, what is it? What do you get for contract from needles?
Hepatitis.
Yeah, would you give him a disease?
Yes.
Yeah, they talked about it in Collider, and it's like, I don't feel bad for him, but maybe don't beat the shit out of him.
I mean, someone.
It's like some weird middle ground,
or like just everybody get in a line and like slap him upside the head.
Yeah, but like to that, right? Because the biggest spoiler you see from episode 1 is the Brandon and Jamie meme. But even then, without any context, it's just a meme. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like for all the Game of Thrones things that have been going down, no spoilers, just memes.
It's just memes, and there's some good ass memes.
Yeah, I love all the memes. They're fantastic.
I love all of them. The Braun and Jamie first episode
2 meme was
the second episode, the dragon giving that face. I saw a couple of those.
I was thinking more along the lines of when Dany's trying to play nice.
Oh yeah, her face is just like
she's making that like
honestly me. I've also seen a lot of people with Tormund where he's like, is the big lady still here?
Oh yeah,
like that one a lot. Those are great.
Yeah, so not a lot of spoilers as far as like Twitter and stuff's concerned, which is great.
Or the one with Dany and Thor from Ragnarok where he's like, did you know?
Oh yeah. So episode 2, we'll continue with Dany, I guess. More crazy.
She just straight up. Oh, you know what we missed in the first one, where she was like told Sam that she murdered.
Oh, she murdered his entire family.
I really like.
Well, she didn't murder the mom and the sister, but
well, yeah.
Poor Dickon. He didn't have it coming. He's an honorable man. He stood with his father as he should have.
Yeah.
Didn't deserve to be burned to a crisp.
And it was like, I really love that, like, when it was like, oh yeah, your dad's dead, Sam was kind of just like, oh, well, hard to take, but okay,
I'll
at least
be
I have my
home
brother.
with my brother.
Yeah, and then it was like, I killed your brother too. And then that's when the tears go, because it's like, oh, it's such a good, like, show of like his super complicated relationship with his dad, and it's kind of like, well, I'm not sad that he's dead, but I'm not like happy about it.
Yeah.
But then like compared with his brother, who like isn't like, it's never been his brother's fault that he was like the superior one in his eyes or whatever, and like he was the one that wanted like him to continue the name, and that's what really hit it, and I really like that.
Yeah. The actor, something Bradley, I want to say John, but I'm probably wrong. Talked about that too, and he was like, I didn't know how Amelia was like gonna deliver it, but the fact that she delivers it so cold, like just like stone faced,
just like it is what it is.
Yeah. Like it's the most obvious thing in the world that like like they had to die for their treasonous acts.
Yeah, it
like really helped him figure out how he would react. Yeah, because like now he's like, I'm standing before a monster, and now I really gotta tell John.
Yeah, and it's like, it's also like, but you've like given your like loyalty to her too. Like you can't take that back.
Yeah. So Dany just like over these 2 episodes
is like the worst.
Kinda, yeah. It's such a
like
strange...
so much better than Cersei, but she's still the worst. Like she's getting to be bad. And
do you think she's gonna go Mad Queen?
Yes.
Get Mad Queen
I was actually
vibes?
about to say that. I feel like that's like where they're going with it. Not like because they said that the Mad King, her father, like went mad because of like incest, obviously, and like, you know, that is gonna fuck up your family at some point in your life. Like if you're just continuing it on.
Jaime and Cersei too. Whenever they talk about Joffrey earlier on in like season 1 or 2, they talk about the Targaryens and how every time a Targaryen was born, the gods like flip a coin, or like the gods take a gamble.
Yeah, but like who's gonna be? And it's like I know that Dany had other siblings, I believe. You
had Rhaegal, who died in Robert's Rebellion.
And then what's his face?
Viserys.
Yeah.
Viserion's namesake.
Yeah. And then her.
Yeah, it was just
But I thought there was more than just them 3.
No. It was just those 3. I mean, there were like other Targaryens at the time, but they were all
yeah, but not like of the like main bloodline.
They weren't Aerys' kids.
Yeah.
They all have such badass names. The Targaryens have the coolest names.
They do.
Aemon, Aegon. Well, oh yeah, Maester Aemon, I guess, is technically alive.
Yeah, he...
Poor Maester Aemon. I miss that guy.
Me too.
He was...
Whenever he was like, yeah, I'm a Targaryen, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I feel like she's going in that route because they said that her father went mad because of the incest and stuff, and like, or like other reasons, but like that, and like with the coin flipping and seeing who, like, what? Viserys
Viserys the dragon.
Right. Viserys. I don't think that he was crazy.
I think he was crazy. Well,
I don't think he was crazy.
Do you think it's like a PTSD thing?
Yeah, because Dany, I don't remember how old they make them in the show because they age everyone up.
I think Dany
compared
was
to the books.
18.
Yeah, but in the book she was 14 when the book started, like all that, and she got married off, and her brother was only like 3 or 4 years older than her, and she was a baby whenever they had to run away because of all that stuff. So he was just a child. So like, as a like 4-year-old having to flee and seeing like
your family die,
your entire family be killed, and like someone is telling you like you need to get back at them, like that really fucks with you as a kid. So like, I don't think that he was crazy in the like Targaryen crazy way. I think it was just like he grew up having to deal with that, and then like growing up to be like it just seeping into him and being like vengeful, and like that's where his crazy came from. So like, I don't think that he's crazy, and clearly fucking Rhaegal, not crazy at all.
No, wait, you're right. It is Rhaegar. Rhaegal's the dragon.
Sure.
Sorry. It's hard to tell when the dragons are named after
after her brothers.
Well, and Drogo.
Yeah.
Drogon. Yeah. So it's hard
Dracarys.
Huh? Dracarys. To breathe fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, he most definitely was not crazy, because in the books and the movies, everyone says that he was like completely noble, like totally fucking just.
He's the nicest person in the world.
The nicest person in the world that like nobody could believe that he would like take and rape
Lyanna. Exactly.
So I'm going to assume that neither of the brothers got the craziness, and it's all in Dany. And it's only just now starting to show, because it's something that has to like...
Over time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where it's going, because you can definitely see like the madness starting to come out of her.
I don't know about all that. I always thought that maybe like to see the names. I always thought Viserys was the crazy one, but you could be right, because you're right. You know, as a kid leaving, knowing that like the people loyal to your dad just killed him.
Yeah, and then obviously like you are taken there, and like someone has to take care of you. Like they weren't like left just on their own. Like someone was in charge of them.
Well, they had to fend for themselves and like keep appealing. I remember that from the books that he talked about, like how they would have to travel from like city to city and keep appealing to like, you know, high courts and whatever, just to be granted like some leniency.
Right, but it wasn't like they were just like street rats or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like they still had people who like
looked out for them.
Yeah, and still had people that were like, well, you can get back there, you can like take back your...
Realistically though, all those people probably would have killed Viserys, because
100%.
They all wanted like some power in some way.
It was all like to double cross them, but like for like a young child to grow up hearing that, like, you know, it's still gonna like fuck with your view of the world.
Yeah. Juno sleep barking. That's cute.
Love it.
So that kind of just ends Dany's like thing, right? Because in episode 2 it starts with like not really the trial of Jaime Lannister, but it does sort of start with the trial of Jaime Lannister.
Yeah. I guess.
Dany's just like, my brother used to tell me stories about what we'd do when we found you. And how we'd imagine like different ways to like kill you and stuff like that. But Brienne stands up for him, which means
Sansa stands up for Brienne.
Yeah. And John's like, John's still dealing with the fact that
he knows who he is now.
So he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, that's cool.
He's like, yeah, I got other shit to worry about, thank you.
This was I think as far as like episodes go, this was better than episode 1, only because the personal relationships you see are sort of better fleshed out. Because you're right in that the first one, they're all reuniting. And it's sort of just that. But you have Jaime apologize to Bran. You kind of have Bran get a little snarky. I think it's the little bit of humanity left in him when he's like, the things we do for love, and he's throwing it back in like Jaime's face.
Oh my god, I love that. And I love that like
nobody else got it.
Still nobody knows what really happened.
Yeah. And he's like, why didn't you tell him? It's like, you're no good to me dead. And he still freaks out Jaime too, because he's like, after he's like, you're no good to me dead, he's like, well, what about after this? And he's like, how do you know there's an after this? And then Jaime's like, oh fuck, I gotta get away from this kid.
He's like, okay, see you later, Bran.
Yeah. Jaime
I love it. And like, I really like, guess we'll move on to Jaime now. I really like...
Well, it's all Jaime-centric.
A little more. But I really like Jaime and Brienne's interactions.
When they're
in this episode, like
outside and the
yeah, and he's like, I can't fight well, but like I want to fight by your side, and like I really like that because like going back to how like they started, like when they first were stuck together,
how she's waiting for him to say something vile and mean to her and make fun of her.
Yeah, and it's just like that relationship, like you can see the growth that they've had because they have gone through like a whole bunch together and like stuff like that. And
you
like,
don't lose a hand with somebody and just be like, this person's an ass, I never want to see him again.
Yeah, and it's just like how he like just like he stands up for her and she like does the same for him, and it's just like, I don't know, I really like it, and I really like that he was like, you know what, you're the leader, man, like, I'll follow you.
Yeah.
When it, like, the entire time it's been, like, her pining over him.
You think so? I don't think, like, it's, like,
like
pining. Yeah, because she's...
But she's always been, like...
Because even with, like, Renly, because she loved Renly, it was sort of just, like, she knows not to.
She knows how to not show those girly emotions.
Because she's been making fun of her, like, entire life, which is kind of sad. Because Brienne's a badass.
Hell yeah, she is.
And I love, not that he plays a really big part or anything, but also to that, I love that Pod's just like keeping an eye on Jaime. I don't know if you noticed, but like he keeps watching their conversation the entire time that he's dueling that one dude.
I love Pod. He's
Podrick's
such like
the best.
He's such a such a minor character, but it's like
he's a stand-up dude.
He really just fucking, you love that guy.
Yeah, all the whores love him, all the viewers love him. He can't lose.
Like truly the definition of big dick energy,
right? You see the Lannister brothers together for the first time since you see him a little bit in 7, right? Because Tyrion sneaks into King's Landing and he's like, I want to meet with all of us and blah blah blah. But you get to see them like kind of talking a more free, not Cersei's gonna kill there. Without Cersei looming over both of them. And it's nice because you haven't
without like one having to protect the other. Yeah,
so it's nice to see the brothers finally interact freely, as brothers. Yeah. For the first time in so long.
And it's refreshing because like Jaime has always had a soft spot.
Yeah, he's never hated Tyrion.
Like he's never hated him like Cersei has and all this stuff. Like he's always like
he memorizes Tyrion's line. Yeah. I wanted to die at the age of 80, drunk, with a bottle of wine in my mouth and a whore's mouth around my cock.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's really nice. Like, I like that. Because who knows which one of them is going to survive. Or even if both of them are going to survive.
Tyrion also gets a good dig in at Tywin at the end of the episode.
Oh my god, yeah.
And when they're all sitting around the fire and he's like, I wish Dad was here to see it. And Jaime's like, what? And he's like, to see us defending the Starks in the north? And, like, he'd die.
Oh my god, yes.
It's great.
Good lines. Also with Tyrion, but in the first episode, when he was talking with Sansa, and he was like, you ran away at the wedding. He was like, what an awful event. And she was like, it had its moments.
Right.
The best.
There's a lot of good bad digs at the Lannisters.
But like, she had a point, man. Like
most of them had it coming.
It sucked, but like that wedding had a high point, and like I think we all know which one it was.
It also had a super low point. That led to Tyrion's like second fucking trial. That's the whole reason that Oberyn died, and the Mountain technically died.
Like that part sucks, but like I mean, like all for like Joffrey being like dead, like you know it's kind of worth it.
I guess.
No, totally yes, because that that fucker. Oh, boy.
But, like, then Cersei would never come into power, so, I mean, that's nice. Because Cersei couldn't control him. She was like, Jaime, what the hell are we gonna do, man? This kid's out of control. Like, we gotta reel this in real quick or spank him or something, because...
Or spank him.
You think they hit their kid?
No.
Tyrion was probably the first person that slapped him whenever...
In the first episode?
Was it the first? It wasn't the first episode.
In the very first episode.
I'm thinking of Blackwater.
He hit him.
Not Blackwater.
In, like, the stables or something.
Maybe he did. I'm thinking of, no, I'm thinking about when all the common folk were flung shit at Joffrey, and he's freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
And he slaps him, and he's like, you slapped the king, and he's like, and did my hand fall off?
I love it.
So great, yeah.
Anyways, where were we?
That's sort of, they're okay.
Yes.
Well, we're talking about Jaime and, like, his interactions with everybody. We talked about Dany and Sansa's interaction, but one other thing I really want to talk about, a small thing that I really love, and that got me in my feels, was when the little girl goes up to Davos.
Oh my god!
And
she was
like,
I want to fight, and he was like, well, she's like, I'm gonna be in the crypts with everyone else.
Yeah.
And Gilly was like, well, I'd feel really safe if you were defending me. She's
and
like,
they play the song that Shireen sang to Davos and stuff like that, so it's like,
and
oh,
like,
my heart.
My heart, and oh my god, like, yes, you precious child, like, please protect them in the crypt.
And she made it, which is nice.
Oh my god, yeah, I know.
So that was a nice little moment. But then we get into the end of the episode, which is very somber and very, like, heavy. Except for Tormund, who said he killed a giant and then crawled into his...
Oh my god.
That was the most...
To get with his woman, and then she breastfed him. Oh my god, he's such a freak.
So
I love him so much. He's so
he
good.
got the whore and the milk's just pouring down his beard. So nasty.
And he's just like, watch me drink all of my beer out of my horn.
Yeah. But that was really good. It was cool to see all the people that had at one point been against the Starks reflect on the fact
that they're here to help the Starks.
Yeah, that they make and then they also survive like every battle.
They're here to possibly die too. And then obviously the big amazing part of the whole episode, Brienne finally getting knighted.
Yeah. Which I hear so many people cried about and teared up over. And I understand. I'm not taking away from it.
Honestly, same, because, like, it's not even, like, just a woman thing. It's just, like...
All Brienne's ever wanted was that validation.
Yes, to be one, and it was like, well, that's never gonna happen. And, like, Tormund being like, well, why not?
Yeah.
And
you
it's
gotta
like...
love people that challenge tradition.
Yeah, it's exactly. He's like, well, why can't you? Like, she's clearly proven herself time and time again so that she can protect and defend anybody... like, who she chooses, like, where her loyalties lie, like, she knows no bounds to it, and it's like, she's so fucking amazing, and she's an amazing fighter, like, she's made it this far, like, why the hell not?
She beat the Hound.
Exactly, like, why the hell not?
She beat the Hound in sword to sword, hand to hand, and then I think she hit him with a rock.
Yeah. So it's like, why can't she be a fucking knight? Just make her a fucking knight, and finally happen, and it's great.
So, and then we got Podrick's lovely voice.
He does have a lovely voice.
Singing about Jenny and her ghosts.
Mm-hmm, and Arya fucking.
Oh my god, how did I forget about that? We haven't talked about Arya at all.
We haven't. Her and Gendry.
Yeah. But, like, I thought they hinted at that in the first episode. When she sees him and the Hound's bullying him, and she's like, leave him alone. And when she turns back and, like, she doesn't just, like, turn back on him. She, like, does a little twirl to look at him and then, like, dances off the fucking scene. And I was like, they got it. They're going to do it. And I think that night, I was like, you think we're going to see her bang? And you were like, no. And then this happened, and I was like, it happened.
I don't remember you asking me that, but sure.
Well, because you said that we grew up with her, so we'd never see it. And I was like, I don't know about that. But yeah, Arya wanted to have sex on potentially her last night to be alive.
She did it.
Yeah.
Fuck marriage.
Well, I don't know about that. I think she'd marry Gendry. I don't know if she'd marry Gendry, but I think if, like, that's how they do the whole first episode, when it's like, I have a son, you have a daughter, and that's how it works out, where it's like they just together. I think if she doesn't
have to be the Lady of Winterfell, then yeah.
That they don't marry?
That they would.
Oh, that they would marry.
Like, if she doesn't have to be...
I don't even know where the Baratheons are in terms of, like, Westeros.
They're gone.
No. Well, I mean, you have Gendry, but he's a bastard. But, like, no, what I mean is, like, in terms of... like, kingdoms? Like, I know where I can kind of place the majority of them. I don't remember where the Baratheons are.
Oh, like, what part of the kingdoms they come from?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, they've always been in King's Landing, because that's where the
bloodline
comes from.
Were they? No. I thought King's Landing was just held by whatever.
Because of in the book from the first season, how Ned finds out about Joffrey.
I'm blanking so hard.
The book where he was like, all of the Baratheons are brown-haired and brown
haired, but that's
and then
just
Joffrey's blonde.
But that's just like the Septum keeping track. And like, we don't know where I don't remember where Robert's rebellion started as far as like that's concerned, because his rebellion could not start in King's Landing given that the Targaryens were living in King's Landing. You know,
or it could.
Like, the Lannisters are ruling, but the Lannisters' stronghold, their, like, familial base is Casterly Rock.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think it ever tells you, because it kind of doesn't matter. Or maybe wherever the hell Renly's at?
Maybe?
No,
but
isn't it the...
he's just...
No. Isn't it the fucking... the castle?
No. If you're thinking... I know what you're thinking about. Stannis took...
The rock one.
No, that's Stannis. Stannis took, Dragonstone.
Yeah.
But that's the Targaryen strong base.
Jesus Christ, man.
Winterfell's the Starks.
Yes.
The Freys have the towers that bridge the north and the south, I think.
Yeah.
The Karstarks also have like the river lands. Mm-hmm. They're dead, I believe. I don't remember where the Boltons were, but they're in the north. Yeah. The Vale's in the mountains.
Yeah.
God, this is like...
Well, I'm so bad. It just is the Vale.
No, pause. I'm so bad at our geography.
But you got...
I know this. I
apparently know Westeros down.
That's kind of funny.
And then you have... Fuck, what are their names?
The Tyrells?
Yeah.
They're...
in the south.
In the south, yeah, because they're living in the plains. They're the big...
Yeah.
Vegetation.
They just make me think of springtime.
Yeah, right, because they're all flowers.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where the Baratheons are. And, you know, like, there's a lot of castles available now that everybody's dead. So, like, so maybe it doesn't matter.
but I don't think we have the books anymore. But there's a map in the book about everything.
Yeah, I know.
Where, like, everything is and the families and stuff. So, maybe, like, it gives you all of that. So, maybe it's in there somewhere, but I don't fucking know.
Also, maybe he just, like... Well, like, Arya doesn't need to be the Lady of Winterfell. You know, Gendry could be the Lord of
wherever
blank, because insert
and she
castle
can go
here.
there.
Yeah, exactly. So like that could be a thing, depending on where she wants to be.
Depending on who ends up in the throne, honestly, and who's not dead.
I mean, I guess, but Arya's always been like fuck tradition. I'll go do what I want anyway. So
especially now that she's a master assassin.
Yeah, just a fucking ninja. So yeah, that was nice. Arya got her one lay before
going off. To the war.
Yeah, before war starts. So now, I guess, Winterfell. We're going to touch on the one thing I have a big issue with.
The long night?
The long night.
Oh, boy, what a fucking episode it was.
First off, I don't get why you were just complaining about the darkness. It made sense to me.
Yeah.
That was the one thing. I saw that more than memes. I saw memes about people squinting at the darkness.
Like, I assume that everybody's only really talking about the very beginning. When the Dothraki go?
I've watched 3 episodes. And unless you memorize what weapons people are using, or like their silhouettes or their armor or something, there is sort of absolutely no way you can tell what the fuck's going on at certain points.
Yeah, but like that, like, yes, you can't like see anything throughout the whole episode in terms of like distinguishing who is who and stuff. But like that's just like, that's so perfectly like...
That's how it would be.
Yes, like that's exactly how like you don't know if you're fighting someone on your side or if you're fighting the fucking dead. Like that's just
biting at you.
Yeah, exactly. Swing. Like you're just like something's coming at me. Like I'm coming for you. Like like there would be no knowing. Like that's just how it would be. So like you can complain about your squinty eyes all you want, but it's how it would beautiful.
Be. So my biggest complaint, I'm not gonna lie, I think there should have been more deaths. Like, look, man, I love Grey Worm. He's such a badass. He's done so much for Daenerys. He got hit by 3 fucking waves of whites and, like, never somehow came out on top. And, like, he's not using a sword. He's using a spear. Yeah. There's no, like, I'm sure he has daggers, but, like, there's no way in hell, like, you can be, like...
Especially, like, I think it was, like, the second wave of Wightwalkers that came, where like it literally came like a legit wave, like it completely engulfed all of the Unsullied.
Not that it's like a major... It's sort of a major point in that it starts to fuck up the plans, but we also see the genocide of the Dothraki.
Not all of them, because some of them did run back.
Okay, but like, what are the odds they're still alive? You know what I mean?
This is true.
So we sort of see the loss of a race, which is really depressing.
Was just so...
It was so dope.
Wild.
They also, a weird hang up, the one race that hates magic, like truly hates magic. Yeah. It goes against their religion and everything.
We're like,
they get the magical flame swords. They couldn't do like a magical flame spear thing for the Unsullied that have no issue with like anything ever. A little strange.
I guess because she knew they were powerful enough to withstand it anyways.
Yeah, I guess. But it was such a cool thing to see, like all the light rush out and then
just completely get extinguished.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good. And it was just like when they're running in it and you can see like the first couple of Dothraki that get there and like you see their face, but you can't see the Wightwalkers. Like, oh my god, it was so good. I was just like, holy fuck, what?
But then you never see Ghost again, which pisses me off.
Yeah.
Ugh, so annoying.
We'll see.
I hear people say that he's alive and it's been confirmed, and I'm like, he fucking better be, because if not, I'm just gonna throw our TV or something. Like, Ghost, don't kill a direwolf off screen. They haven't yet. Grey Wind got shot in his stall. The Red Wedding. What else? You saw Summer die against the Whites. You saw Lady die. Nymeria's out in the wild.
Yeah, she's
kind of repopulating dire wolves,
which is great. Because like, what up?
Yeah, bring the Starks back to power. And then Ghost.
Yeah.
So haven't seen any of them die off screen. So if that happens, I'm gonna be real pissed off. Going into this, who did you think was gonna die?
I definitely thought Grey Worm was gonna die.
Because he was making plans with
Missandei. He was like, we're gonna go to somewhere nice, tropical shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh my god. And it's also like, you expect him to die because he is the commander of the Unsullied, so he would like...
He's at the front.
He would stay there too. And I thought that either Brienne or Pod or Jaime would die, like one of them, if not all three of them, because they also were in the front line in the battle. So I was like, well... anyone who's in the front, like, you definitely have, like, a worse chance of staying alive.
Uh-huh.
So, definitely that. Just, like, anybody who was out.
Out in the front?
Yeah, like, it was out. Like, they're gone. Like, that's it.
The deaths weren't too brutal in this. They weren't, like...
Yeah, they weren't.
I feel like in other...
kind of, like, just... it is what it is type of deaths.
But there were also a lot of minor characters, in my opinion. So we'll start going through, I guess, the deaths, right? Because Sam almost dies, and then what happens as a result of saving Sam? Ed gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Which we saw coming. Like, Ed serves no purpose at this point, especially with the wall being destroyed. Like, what do you do as a... Watch. Yeah, what do you do as a knight, as a knight of the Black? You just try and rebuild that giant hole.
But it's but you don't even need the wall because, like, we've kind of seen that we've been able to, like, make peace with, like, the wildlings. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like...
and all the weird shit's already leaked in, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so just, like, let them be and, like, just fucking fuck it, you know?
What else? So, Ed first death as a result of Sam. And then also, weirdly enough, there is a weird trend of pick up a fellow soldier, and then as soon as you pick him up and you're like, you're doing good... stab in the back, slash across the face. Something happens, and you're almost basically either dead or near death.
Yeah. I also don't, like, appreciate Sam.
Being out there?
No, just in general, like, his reaction to everything. Because, like, in the last episode, he was like, no, I'm gonna fight. Like, I was the first one to kill a White Walker ever. So, like... that, and then, like, all of these other things that he, like, listed off that he did and contributed, so, like, as his reasoning to be able to be, because Jon wanted to put him in the crypt with everybody else.
It starts off with him,
and,
right?
like, same, because, yeah, the episode starts off with him getting his weapons.
And he's, like, shaking.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like, you wanted this. Like, I get that you're scared because everybody else is scared, like, nobody wants to die, but, like, you wanted this, you fought. Like, no one was
fought to fight?
Exactly, like, no one was gonna give you any shit for staying in the crypt with the women and children and being safe. Like, no one expected you to go out and fight. So, like, you put yourself there, and then as soon as it, like, push comes to shove, you're like, holy shit, what am I doing? And then he doesn't, like, properly fight. So, like, I didn't really like that, but...
Yeah, but,
whatever.
I mean, first off, like, you gotta give Sam some credit. He's a coward.
He's always known he's a coward.
He's always known he's a coward. He doesn't hide away from it. He knows what he is, and he's okay with it. He's accepted it. But of all of them, he'd probably be the most shaky. And then to that, you know, at the end, just following Sam specifically, he's laying in a body, like in a corpse pile, stabbing out with daggers, crying because like everyone around him's dying, and like this is it, right? Like this is how you're going out. It's like it. Of all the people that you would expect to break, I understand why he breaks.
Yeah.
Because bravery hasn't always been his thing. He's pretty new to it.
That was a little annoying.
So then Ed dies.
Mm-hmm. And then
they light the trench.
Yeah.
And then the dragons, right? That's the next like kind of big thing. Is
the dragons fighting?
The dragon fights, which badass, got Godzilla vibes because I'm so hyped for that fucking movie.
Oh
but yeah. The Night King and Viserion.
Him just literally just fucking piecing out of there when he fell off.
Still showed more emotion than Braun has in the past, like, 6 seasons.
Just, like, falling like, whatever, my dudes.
He's so majestic, you know? He's like, I don't do anything that looks finicky or frail or whatever.
Of course he's majestic. He has a fucking crown built into his head.
I guess when you're made of ice, you're always cool. Yeah, that was good.
Hey, anyways, John's dragon, I guess, not dead that we know of, but very hurt.
I saw it in the trailer. I saw 2 dragons flying, so I think Rhaegal's fine.
Okay, but very hurt.
Drogon also got pretty damaged.
That was really hard for me to watch because I was like, oh
when
my
all
God.
of them are climbing out like ants.
Yeah, like when like he's literally like, clawing into them. I'm just like, oh my God, like no.
Yeah.
And he threw that spear, and I was like, not another one. Please don't, like, get another one.
It was hard to watch dragons get hurt. Not gonna lie. When it's dragon on dragon fighting, I'm not too torn up about it because, like, the dead dragon can't react.
Yeah.
And Rhaegal did pretty...
He also got pretty torn up.
Yeah. Rhaegal did pretty... Well, he lost a jaw.
He's lost an entire, like, soft... Like, half of his face.
Yeah, it's nasty as hell. But I think Rhaegal got, like, off a little better compared to Drogon, who got cut up and then got swarmed.
Oh my God, by all the Wightwalkers, yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible. Yes. That we'll go from that. I thought that was shot pretty beautifully. I saw.
Can we just talk about the like fucking smirk that the Night King gave after
That's
Dany tried to fire him?
Yeah.
Like, boy, he really was just like, "Ha, you thought."
And then, is he a Targaryen? Because he didn't burn. And it's not a magic thing, because the Targaryens are the unburnt.
Yeah.
For a reason, and it's been a long theory that, like, maybe he's a Targaryen, or maybe he's a Stark, or, like, the Starks hail from, like, the first men, so maybe he's both.
Yeah. I don't know, and, like, it's kind of like, now we won't.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, they're doing the Targaryen prequel. That's been confirmed. They're making a prequel series based solely on the Targaryen bloodlines.
Cool beans.
But I don't know where that takes place in the timeline. I think it's going to end with Aerys being killed by Jaime.
Aerys?
Aerys
was his name?
Yeah. It's Aerys or Aerys. I can't remember.
Aerys sounds better than Aerys.
Well, I thought it was dope.
Anyways.
God of War, but whatever. So I don't know where that takes place, and I also don't know how, like, into that sort of lore it'll get, right? Because Fire and Blood was just released, and that's all about the Targaryen bloodlines and stuff like that. And then there's like histories of the Seven Kingdoms. I want to read so much of this now that it's like concluding, because I want to just like completely
you're like, let me see everything.
Yeah, because there's so much like unknown, and I'm gonna jump to this. I'm annoyed at the lack of prophecy fulfilling in this.
Oh my God.
I don't care that Arya killed the Night King. I'm gonna say it. It's whatever.
Yeah,
and
she did that, bitch. Hell yeah.
She's sort of been trained for it her entire life, right?
Yeah.
And there's theories too that like maybe Syrio found Ned and Ned didn't find Syrio, because his thing was like, we tell the god of death not today, and he would think he was from Essos as well. His dance sword fighting technique was so like strange and so weird. And like just that everybody that has met Arya from Syrio onward knew that she was kind of destined for greatness. Like, you didn't watch Avatar, but like it's sort of like a White Lotus thing where it's like all these older generation people are like, there's one person we got to watch out for, and when we find her, we'll let all the old people know, or all the trainers or mentors know, and we'll all just like hit her one at a time and train her for like that conclusion that destiny that she's supposed to fulfill. So there's theories that like Syrio found her, and then because Syrio found her and we didn't see him die, maybe he's Jaqen, or maybe he told Jaqen, and then Jaqen found her, obviously, or she found Jaqen.
Yeah.
And then it just continues on with like all her training has led to this.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Are you about it? Do you care about the prophecy that Melisandre was like telling Stannis the entire time, or anything like that? Where like he's the prince that was promised, or Jon was the prince that was promised, or Gendry was the prince that was promised and would end the long night?
I mean, not like necessarily, because I also like, I feel like there was,
as a Harry Potter fan, I feel like you should probably take this with like some like, not like,
well, because if we're going Harry Potter, like it is always stated in Harry Potter that prophecies, you cannot read them as they are.
Well, even in Game of Thrones, they're like, that's flimsy. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like prophecies, no matter what the prophecy, where is it from, it is never just as is. It can always be interpreted like multiple different ways.
There was only one fork in that road for Harry Potter, though, wasn't there? And it was that it was Neville or Harry.
Yeah,
and that was a shot in the dark.
There was only two ways that I was going to go. But overall, it could have gone in either way, and it's just like prophecies are like good advice for the future, but they're not something to be like taken
literally or lived
so
by.
Seriously. Yeah, exactly. Like that was the whole thing in Harry Potter, that they were like, please don't go looking for it, because it's like you cannot live your life based off of this prophecy, because you're just fucking it up, because there is no like, this is exactly what it means. It's just what you interpret it, but because it's a prophecy, you're like, well, this is what it means, of course, kind of thing.
See, but my problem with that is that everybody's been trying to figure out who the fuck Azor Ahai is. And it's like, because of that, they're like, well, who's going to kill the person they love? Who's going to, like, forge a sword with their blood, and, like, like, all the stuff that was promised about it, I guess, or prophesied about that. Which people thought Jorah, people thought Jaime, people thought Jon, because, one of them's gonna have to kill the woman they love or whatever. And honestly, a lot of people were kind of leaning towards Jaime towards the end, where it's like, well, obviously Jaime has to take out Cersei because she's fucking crazy.
I still think that's gonna happen.
He's gonna be the Queen Slayer now. Oh, that'd be so sad.
Oh, that is sad.
He doesn't deserve that.
Now I feel bad because he doesn't like being the Kingslayer.
Yeah, he's been like mocked for that his entire life. So that was a little annoying. And then, people were like, well, who was born under Red Star? And then who was reborn under Red Star? Because Dany, was rebirthed when she brought the dragons to life.
And then the Red Star happened.
And then Jon was born under the sigil of a Red Star. Mm-hmm. And so, like, that's, like, the sign was over him, even if the star was not there. So it's like, what's going on? Or, like, Jon was also reborn when Melisandre brought him back. So it's just like putting so much time and effort and trying to figure out and like track this down, which I have at work, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of annoying for it to be like, it was all for nothing. But I mean, that's what like what Captain America preaches at Spider-Man Homecoming, when he's like, so you waited to the end.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I guess whatever. Prophecy is not something to live by, something I should probably keep in mind forever.
But not to take as a literal. Okay, cool.
Also,
back to the deaths.
It's so loose too, because when she sees Dany, she's like, it's in the prophecy was in Valyrian, so it's not gender based. Mm-hmm. It could mean the prince or princess that was promised. It's super. It gets more fluid the more they talk about it.
There's like, it's just kind of whatever we're feeling that day, you know?
Yeah, like any religion.
Just how it be.
Not any religion, but it's like, you know what I mean?
Like any religion.
Okay, whatever. So going back to deaths.
Deaths! Who did we... What?
We started with
talking
Ed,
about the Giants.
but next up's Lyanna.
No.
Yes.
It was... Oh, no, yeah.
It was Lyanna, because the giant storms through.
It was so sad. She's so badass. And, like, she kept being badass until the very end. Oh, my God, I love her so much.
Well, she said her mother died fighting for Robb.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that...
She, too.
Would die in battle.
For a Stark.
Yeah. Takes out the giant. Ugh.
She's such a badass. Like, that... Oh, boy. And she's fucking, like, 12? Like, I wish my 12-year-old would be that badass.
Hearing the crunch when the giant starts squeezing her, I'm like, oh, that...
And she still took him out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's...
What a badass way to go.
10 out of 10. I fucking love her.
One of the
so
most
much.
impactful deaths, honestly, because
Truly.
people either cheered or they're like, no, right? Like anything that gets like a super reaction out of you.
You're just like, oh my God. And I was like, no. Like as soon as he like stormed in, I was like, she's gone. Like that's it. They're doing it. They're gonna kill her off. And then they did.
Swats her
yeah,
away,
he swat her,
too.
and I was like, okay, not necessarily a kill because like she's little, so she could die, but like not necessarily that she will die.
Also, she was probably a little relaxed, even though she was scared. So just like getting hit by a vehicle,
you know how it be.
You roll with it. You don't tense up.
Yeah, and then he like crushed her, and I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, she did charge him with an axe.
Yeah, she's doing the Lord's work.
Literally, the Lord of Light.
Exactly.
That's funny. So keep going. We see Arya being a badass because at this point they're storming the gates, right?
Yes, and she's just fucking fighting all the with
her
her
Darth
cool
Maul,
ass
like,
yes.
spear thing.
Oh my God, so cool. I was like, oh hell yeah, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can break it apart and just fucking double fist that shit.
And bringing that to Clegane, the Hound, and Beric, where it's weird because I feel like rather than somebody to love, no, I'll go with love. Actually, I take it back. He's always sort of just wanted someone to love and care for him as he cares for them in a weird way, or someone to teach him that side of things. Because in season 1 and 2 with Sansa, he's super gentle. He's not a dick. He's a little rough.
He could totally be so much worse than he was with her.
He's harsh in terms of wording with her.
Yeah, but he's never like...
He's never abusive in any way. He's not like... He doesn't like emotionally challenge her to like a breaking point or anything. He kind of calls her on her shit too. And then when Arya meets him at her point in life, they start off kind of hating each other. But like, she doesn't kill him, and they take care of each other. Yeah, they went on
that long ass journey together.
So it's kind of cool to see. There's theories that Arya is what he sees in the flames. Whenever Beric tells him to look, I don't even know what season it was in, but after he gets with the Men Without Banners and he's like, look into the flames and tell me what you see. His vision is Arya, being like the badass warrior she is. And so that's
his driving force.
Yeah, he's like, he knows like it had like something special about her. He has to take care
which
of
would
her.
make sense because literally that's the only thing that got him out of his like
funk. His
like I don't want to do this during the battle was like.
He's like
like look, she's still fighting, and he's like, fuck, oh my gosh, she's in trouble. Let's go.
Yeah. I still love that he calls Beric a stupid whore. I was just like, you don't hear dudes get called whores that often.
Yeah, it's nice.
So that's when it transitions to the horror quote, like the
horror act.
Yeah, where it's like sneaking around the library with the whites.
Yeah, which was so good because I was just like, oh, there's like one of them, and then I was like, oh no, there's so many of them.
Did you notice when she's moving, you hear absolutely nothing?
Yeah.
And like, it never occurred to me, like, seeing that, it never occurred to me that was going to be in play for the ending. Because that's like the gust of wind and then she jumps out, right? But you don't hear the footsteps. That's why the generals don't turn or anything. It's because she doesn't make a fucking sound. She sneaks up on everybody.
Because she's a motherfucking badass assassin. Like, can't get over it. She's amazing. I love her so much.
Okay, second hang up of this episode. Beric gets stabbed. We counted.
So many times.
12 times. 12 stabbings. 11 in the torso and once on like his heel. Like I think they cut his.
Yeah. When he was like running away or something.
Yeah. So 12 stabs with daggers, and this motherfucker makes it all the way to the end. He served his purpose for the Lord of Light. I think he was brought back 9 times. But whatever. Jorah, spoilers for later on, but we'll just get into this too, because his death is fairly quick. Only stabbed 3 times. What the fuck's up with that? Sure, he gets stabbed through once, but like the others just quarter gashes.
Yeah.
A little annoyed. Were you sad to see Beric go? Did you care what that Beric died?
No, I didn't really like care much. Like he wasn't a character that I was like, oh no.
Even with all the weird, mysterious like revivals and shit.
I mean, that's cool as shit. Like hell yeah, boy, you come back from the dead. But it's kind of like.
You got your answer as to why at the end of this, so it's like, it's fine. That's just like another loose end tied up.
Yeah.
Okay. Melisandre tells her, I saw you killing brown eyes, green eyes, and blue eyes.
She's like, blue eyes. And I was like, oh! When she said that, I was like, Wightwalkers. I was like, she's gonna change the face. Like, I immediately was like, that's what's gonna happen.
Can she take the face of something that has a rotted face, though?
Yeah.
You think so?
I don't see why not.
That just sounds nasty. I don't think the gods, the faceless god, would appreciate that as an offering.
I just thought she made herself one of the, like...
Generals?
Yeah. Because they don't...
Well, she would need to kill one, and then others would need to die, so I don't think that would work in terms of, like, a long-term thing.
Sure. But either way, I was like, she said that, and I was like...
I think after that, let's take a step outside the castle, because that's when Jon starts charging the Night King.
Oh my god, yes. And I was like, fight. Like, he really is about to 1v1v this bitch.
Motherfucker.
And he was like,
Yeah, biggest fucking cop-out.
Like, literally, like, when Jon, like, was pulling up him, because when we watch Game of Thrones, we go to our friend's house and we see it with, like, multiple people. It's not just us
We're all like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
But we were all like, oh my god. And then he fucking rose the dead and we were like, bitch. Like, you really ran from that fight. Huh.
Yeah. Oh my god. And like I don't know if you thought
like,
I was like, throw the sword. Throw the fucking sword. Like, just fuck it, right? Like, you...
No. Because he was still kind of, like, a good distance away from him. But, like, he wasn't that close.
Beric threw a sword into fucking...
Into that White Walker?
Yeah, so I was like, fuck it, whatever.
His flaming sword.
Yeah.
He threw it, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, he got Arya, and then he didn't pick it up again, and I was like, this is why you're gonna die.
Well, whatever, he's being a good guy. Fuck you. Don't
I'm
come
just
at
saying,
Beric
like, I'm, that. Like, sure, throw your flaming sword, but, like, don't leave it. It's a flaming fucking sword.
There were glass swords, dragon glass swords, all over the place. He's fine.
It's a flaming sword.
An old-timey lightsaber. Yeah, no. He wasn't that far once the dead were being raised, though.
Yeah, he started, like, getting there. But, like, oh my god, I knew, like, I think we all kind of knew that, like, the Night King was gonna raise the dead because,
at some point.
Yeah, because, like, you can't not. Like, there's literally dead people all over you. Like, of course you're gonna fucking resurrect them. Like, that's gonna happen. But I was like, there's so many times where the Night King came for Jon, like, so, like, throughout.
Specifically?
Yes, like, specifically, he was like, I don't like you specifically. He's like, I'm coming for you, bitch.
I'm going with that Targaryen bloodline. That's why I think that's why, man. I'm
like,
sticking with it.
Like, came for him, like, he wanted to come for him so many different times, but it's like, this is your one chance where you could, like.
Where you could, wait. Where he could, ice him.
We're done. That's it. It's over.
Oh, that was good. Come on.
I hate you so much. Anyways, this is the one time that they could have done it, and, like, Jon was fucking for it. He was like, yep, I'm gonna take you one-on-one. Let's go, bitch. Like, I've been waiting for this. And he was just like, nope. I got better things to do and raise the dead instead. But, like, Jon still got surrounded by so many White Walkers and still fought like a goddamn badass.
You know why?
Out
because
of it.
He fought backwards, which was smart. Because the dead were not behind, they were in front. So all the ones that were kind of closing in on him from the front, like when he starts like cutting them down, he starts like with the ones immediately in his vicinity. But as it goes, he starts turning around and like starts cutting from the back because all the dead are around the castle, not behind the castle, or not far away from the castle.
Moved forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So fight smart. He's not a dumbass. He's not like, and I'm sorry, they're badasses, but
sometimes he is a dumbass.
He's a big dumbass. But like battle wise, he always like he's pretty.
He
good.
knows what he's doing.
He's not like Jaime, Pod, or Brienne who gets stuck up against
on the
a wall.
Yes, I was like, stop it.
Ooh, that was bad. Man.
On top of bodies too. Oh my god.
Jaime had a good shield though, because as long as he puts his hand out there, and they bite the hand.
I mean, it's just a hand. It's not like it's an arm. He only has like up to a certain amount.
Yeah, but like it's still
I get what you mean.
Prosthetic. So
yeah.
It's like...
Yes. So he raised the dead.
And then what happened that everybody and their mom predicted?
The crypt.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the crypts. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Everyone's in it.
Just all about it real quick, like everything that happens, because.
Oh, like what? Like that whole
the beginning too, right? Where Tyrion's like, I should be up there, I should be helping, blah blah. And Sansa's like,
well, I really like that. Like, first off, because everyone's in there except for Sansa at the beginning, but then Arya's like, get your ass in there, because like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Right.
Because obviously, and I love when she gives her the dagger and she's like, what am I supposed to do with this? She's like, use the pointy end to stab.
Like a call back to, I think it was like the third episode. When Jon gives her needle.
Oh, and she's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
It's like, yeah, get him with the pointy end.
I think it was like the second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was really funny, and I really like it. They're such good actors because it's such a like subtle thing. I feel like when she comes down the stairs and like Tyrion looks at her and she kind of just like looks at him back, and they have like a knowing look, and he's like, damn, and like drinks more wine kind of thing. Like, but they don't say anything to each other, and it's like, but you like you get what they're saying to each other in that moment.
Well, they spent a good amount of time, and Tyrion also.
Well, they were married.
Tyrion also not an abuser of Sansa whenever they were in King's Landing. He was more of a savior, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's just like I love that part because it's just like
they both know.
They both are like, we're gonna die, but like you can't say that. You can't let anyone else know that that's how you really feel because you don't want a panic starting, especially somewhere that's so enclosed.
Yeah. See, and that's why I thought that I said it when we were watching it out loud. I thought that she was going to do a Cersei thing where she was going to talk to Tyrion and be like, we got to get them to pray, or we got to get them to do that, or sing songs. To do
something.
Yeah, because then, like, they won't freak out. And,
well,
like,
I think it was, like, because of that, like, back then when she was in it, she still was just as freaked out.
Yeah.
And, like, distractions are good, but, like, you still know that something's going on. It's like, and it's kind of like The Office.
What like
when
Jim?
They're filing for bankruptcy and Jim's like, we gotta just go, and Michael's like, they need the distraction, but it like still doesn't. Not all of them can
be distracted.
Yeah, can be distracted, and like that. Like not everybody works that way. Uh-huh. So I think that was kind of more of like them being like, just let them do whatever. Thank you. I love The Office.
You get good good talks between Tyrion and Sansa too, where they talk about the marriage, and you know she's like, "Well, you were the best of them, but it wouldn't work out between us because of the Dragon Queen." You get that snarkiness from Missandei. She's like, "The Dragon Queen is the reason we're still alive right now." And
she's like, "You're right, because we'd all be dead."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, you tell him."
Oh, now you're standing up for Dany.
Because she has a point.
I guess. But you know what I mean. So, like... But it is sort of like a weird thing, because I think we'll just get to, like... You know, the Whites do break in and... Well, come through the crypts, I guess?
No.
No, I mean, like, they come out of their tombs. Like, they claw their way out of...
Yes.
Yeah,
they are resurrected again.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so much more fucked up because they're all Starks. And it's just really, like...
But we didn't see a Ned, which is fine by me, because...
Yeah, you are missing a couple of the more recent Starks because their bodies were never given back. So
yeah,
so like that's nice because it like that would be really like if there was a Ned or like a Robb or something. Like obviously Sansa would be like faced with it, and I think that'd be like super cheesy and like totally take you out of the moment.
Yeah,
kind of thing, like in a bad horror movie type of thing.
Well, it's sort of like how when they were resurrected and you saw Lyanna open her eyes and you saw Ed open his eyes.
Yeah, you're like just like ding, kind of like the Terminator.
Yeah,
with the like glow of it.
Well, I'm glad we didn't see a Hodor. Because that was something I asked going in. I was like, you guys think we're going to see Hodor? And just like, no, fuck that. That also, I don't think it would have taken me out, but I would have been sad.
I'd have been like, no.
Yeah. But do you think they sort of set up that Tyrion and Sansa could be? That could be a thing?
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Because it can't.
Why can't it?
Just...
It depends on who sits on the throne.
I mean, I guess you're right.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
But no, I don't think so, because I feel like their relationship is more of like they've built it through both of them wanting to survive, just like clinging on to whatever is next. And I feel like that moment in the crypt where they're hiding behind the tomb, I assume like Ned's tomb.
Yeah, you would assume the one that's not being torn.
Yeah.
That's not open.
So
probably doesn't have a body in it.
Like one of them. So like while they're hiding behind the tomb and they're like holding hands and Tyrion kisses her hand, I think that is like that sign of affection was more of a like we have been through so much together just to be able to survive, like we can get through this type of thing, and not of like in a romantic way.
Some people said, or some of the critics I listened to were like, I thought they were going to do a suicide thing. Like a suicide pact, basically. Like if the Whites came for him, they're like, all right, you know, like better to die this way with dragonglass in our hearts than to die the other way.
I feel like Tyrion could potentially do that, but I don't think Sansa would ever do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think they set up something romantically, and also a little bit with Theon too, where like she could marry Theon.
And, they totally set it up romantically for Theon.
From the second episode?
Yes,
when they're eating
most
together?
Definitely. When, he's like, I came to fight.
And she hugs him.
Yes,
the first real affection he's been shown.
And he saved her.
Well, yes, but to that, Tyrion saved her quite a bit, too.
It's a little more personal with Theon, though.
No, because Tyrion, even if it wasn't, as personal, Tyrion saved her from Joffrey repeatedly.
This is true.
And when it came to, the betting, he was like, we're not doing the betting. Fuck off, Joffrey. This is my wedding. You're not going to see me basically have sex with a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old. And he got drunk, and he was like, don't worry about it. I'll just drink I'll black out. I'll make myself completely unable to perform. That way we don't have to. So, it all, a lot of the stuff he does for Sansa, he really kind of saves her honor repeatedly. Mm-hmm. He, Reek at the time, or Theon, saves Sansa from Ramsay. But Tyrion sort of preserves her for the betterment of, her shitty south trip.
Yeah, but I feel like for her, all the Ramsay stuff was much worse, obviously. And I think, that was... when she was there, it was more of I think that is when she really broke, and it was kind of I'm never getting out of here, this is it for me. And then Theon figured that shit out.
I disagree entirely, because I want to say when one of Ramsay's whores is there and she's messing with her, Sansa's I'm the Lady of the North and you don't scare me. Straight to her face. So, I think that was more the endurance test. If King's Landing was where you're building the sword, you're melting the stuff.
This is when you beat it.
Yeah, North. When she goes to Ramsay, then I was her being hammered into the hard what she is now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel all the Ramsay stuff was had more of an effect on her and how she is now. So I think all the stuff with Theon is more personal, so she has a better
connection to him.
Yeah, especially since she did grow up with him in Winterfell.
Going back to the end, they kind of severed that entire potential.
I don't care.
I think that's all that's left, right? The ending. We see. Well, we can talk about Jon real quick running through the castle because he sees Sam.
And he was like, I ain't got time for this.
Yeah, which is horrible, right? That's when you know shit's hitting the fan.
Yeah. Because he was just I'm sorry, Sam, I don't have time to save you yet again.
And then Viserions fucking raining cold fire all over Winterfell, just destroying it with his fucking half jaw, and you see the fire leaking out of his neck.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him burned. I wanted to see Jon get fire.
But like, do you think because
that
he's like a White Walker dragon that it would like you could still be able to withstand the fire, like even if you were a Targaryen?
I don't see why not. Fire's fire. Like whether it's like blue fire, which is just a more intense flame, or red fire, red flames. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Yeah, that's it. We're at the end. We're at the final countdown.
Theon, a good man.
That's a good way to start that. That's
Thank you.
If this was like a chapter,
I have my moments
in a book, that'd be good. Poor Theon. He gets his he finally gets
his closure.
He gets his closure. He gets his redemption. He gets it all.
I love Theon.
I
love all of them.
No, it's weird to say you love Theon, right? Because
he was such a dick for so long, and I hated him so much.
He fakes the boys' deaths.
Yes, and like hangs these random ass bodies on
the farmers' boys.
Yeah, on the fucking castle walls, and was like, "I did it, bitches," and it like doesn't even matter.
He kills Sir Roderick, in front of Bran.
Yeah,
he
does all of these horrible things.
And then I don't understand why he and the Ironborn. I don't understand why any Ironborn went back with him. I don't understand why the Ironborn and himself, and he used a bow and arrow. Like, I kind of get the range thing, but like eventually, I don't understand why they didn't have
like a sword or something.
Close range weapons.
Yeah.
Because he picked up the spear from what I'm assuming was an Unsullied that just broke through, not necessarily. They had it. And then you get the Night King shows up with his generals,
being like, "What's up, Bran? We're here to fuck you up."
And Bran says, "You're a good man," and he charges. Ugh. As he should, because the Ironborn don't back down from no bullshit. You know, go out a warrior no matter what. And also,
dead was never done.
He didn't break. When Bran says you're a good, because he's starting to reek out, and then Bran tells him, you're a good man, and he sort of like recomposes himself and charges.
And he's like, "Okay,
yeah,
we're doing this."
So the first time since after Ramsay anyway, that battle doesn't break him once he's been forgiven.
Yeah,
which is really nice to see and real sad.
It's just so good, and it's like, I'm glad he got his redemption and his forgiveness, and he was able to like get his closure right before he died. Because like, Jesus, man, he's been through some shit.
Been like literally, he's been broken.
Literally.
Like repeatedly.
Like in the worst possible way.
Mm-hmm. He was made unsullied.
Yes.
Tyrion never made any ballless joke. No, Tyrion did make.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because Yara told Tyrion to shut the fuck up. I remember that. Okay, I take it back. Who's snoring?
That's Cleo, for sure.
I was like, I hear that through the mic. So, at this point, Theon's dying. The generals are there. The Night King walks up to Bran. You're seeing everybody being clamored. You see Sam crying. You see the three up against the wall.
And you see Jon keep trying to run through the courtyard with the dragon and not being able to get anywhere.
You see him scream in its face as it's readying up the flames.
Oh my god, and then like it's like open mouth, like you saw like down its throat.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Nasty. Jorah is being stabbed and cut down.
I think he's already dead at that point.
No.
No?
He doesn't drop till the whites drop.
Oh.
And then Arya, like a fucking bat out of hell, just
out here like, ah!
Yeah, literally. Like a fucking murderous, like almost like kind of Chucky, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way that he catches her too.
Yeah.
Turns around, catches her.
And I was like, and you're all just like, oh my god, no! And then
Nick like jumped out of his fucking chair, and he was like, what the fuck?
It was so good.
Drives that cat's paw dagger right through right where the dragon glass was whenever he was made, and like dominoes, they all fall.
Just gone. Boom.
Crazy.
I love it.
Was it everything you wanted?
Yes.
I wanted more death. That's my only critique. Tormund should have died. I love him to death. Tormund should have died. Fucking Grey Worm should have died.
Yeah.
Who else? The other people that I think should have died did die, so that's fine. And then it ends. I think the last scene you see is Drogon around Dany holding up Jorah.
Oh my god, that was so sad because she was sad, and it's like when your dog knows that you're having a bad day, and it's like puts its head in your lap and like, I'm here. It was the same thing, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Jorah's death. Any impact on you? You care?
I mean, not like I
You
don't.
complicated feelings on it?
Not like I don't care, but it's kind of like I think we all knew that he was gonna die protecting Dany at some point. Like, that's how he was gonna go out. So it's like, I'm not surprised.
The Azor Ahai thing, man. I thought he was gonna have to kill Dany. I thought he was gonna have to put a blade through her heart and be like, all right, this is Lightbringer, let's do it. That was a theory for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he loved her, like, unconditionally.
Yeah.
And, like, which is weird because the first season he's completely selling her out to the Baratheons.
Yeah.
In hopes for a pardon.
But then he's like, just kidding, I love her.
Yeah, it's just real fucked up.
It's a real weird turnaround. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't have like that big an effect on me because like I said, I think we all knew that that's how he was gonna go out. So it was like, meh, kind of thing. But it's like, it's still sad.
Yeah.
But it's kind of just like
that's Dany's oldest friend at this point. Like, oldest mentor, co-traveler, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Person in her life.
Yeah. Like, he's been with her since the beginning. Even if he did, like, betray and fail her. Which is wild. So, Mormont house.
Gone.
I feel bad. They have Bear Islands. That's what it's called. That's where they live. They live in islands. I remember that.
Okay.
Sorry. It just hit me.
You're stupid.
So then going forward, what now?
Obviously the fight for the throne.
We get Clegane versus Clegane. We're going to get zombie Clegane versus the Hound. Because that was promised at the end of season 7 where he's like, I'm coming for you. You know I've always been coming for you. I see people call it Clegane Bowl.
Oh my god.
So, Clegane Bowl's coming.
I think they'll both die.
What about Jaime? He served his purpose. He said, I want to fight for the living. He fought for the living, and now what? Does he go back?
Oh, man. Well, it doesn't matter if he wants to go back, because Cersei's already counted him out.
Yes, but do you think that he'd be willing to... Do you think that he thinks that she'd be willing to forgive him?
Yes, I think Jaime's that stupid.
That's not stupid. That's love in a fucked up way, but...
It's stupid. Like, no, because I think he would be stupid enough because Cersei showed in the very last episode of the last season, she showed, like, where she is mentally, like, what she's willing...
To do
to keep her throne. And, like, if Jaime doesn't believe that giving him up, I guess, essentially, is, like, something that she'd be willing to do, then he's a fucking idiot.
Okay. Yeah, that was something I thought about today, or, like, after my third viewing. I was like, does he go back now? Like, what happens? And then Braun's still presumably coming after him.
After him and Tyrion. I don't know. I don't think he'll get both of them. I think, if anything, he'll get one. Mm-hmm. Don't know which one.
Do you think...
But, like, if it played out how I wanted it to, it would be Tyrion, only because I want Jaime to be the one to kill Cersei.
Do you think he'd kill Braun at that point, or do you think Braun gets away?
I feel like Braun will get away. I feel like he always gets away.
He's just a snake.
He's just like, exactly.
And it's like, catch him.
And it's kind of like that's how shit works. Like he's on nobody's side. He just is. He's
a sellsword.
Yeah.
It goes back to the beginning where it's like, who holds the power? The king that tells the sellsword to attack because he's his king. The septum that says because God wills it, you should do it, or the man with the lord with the money. Saying, go do this because I'll pay you to. And it's like, who holds the power? Well, obviously, the sellsword because he has the power to choose, and the others don't. They're at his mercy.
Yeah.
So
it's like, I don't... Like, if he dies, then, like, whatever. But, like, I don't think he would because he's always been self-serving. Like, and everyone knows, like, he's always made it very clear that he is just here to get his shit done and get what he wants. So, like, if he only... And
it's not personal either.
Yeah, so if he's only able to kill one of the brothers, then it's like, well, that's all I was able to do. Oh, well, like, I still got my money, so, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. As an optimist... All right, bear with me here. As an optimist, I think he says fuck it and doesn't do it. Because he's, you know, when he gets across, he's like, this fucking family's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think he doesn't do it. And honestly, I think, like, they could offer him any of the now not abandoned, but now dead houses, castles, and he'd be like, all right.
He'd be like, okay.
You know, he gets his castle back as opposed to getting riches. But that still means he's a lord and everything. So
he still gets something from it. Yeah, that's how I think that's going to go. Obviously, there's going to be some sort of confrontation, obviously.
Do you think that we just jump into battle 2?
No.
Because the next episode's the second longest episode.
No, because the guy that directed this 3rd episode also directed the 5th episode. So that leads me to believe that the 5th episode will be the one with the battle.
Okay. We're going south again. We finally got a trailer seeing Cersei and Euron.
Yeah.
So that's cool, I suppose.
Yes, drink it up, honey.
Yeah, sorry for Cleo. Any final thoughts for episode 4? Or, like, anything that could be upcoming?
Anything to come. I don't know, because now...
Dany has no army.
Yeah, Dany has no army anymore, and there's no, like, threat. So, like in terms of, like, Wightwalkers, obviously. Mm-hmm. So, like, now she can actually, like, confront Jon about his lineage and, like, his claim to the Iron Throne. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
It also kind of bugs me a lot because Jon doesn't want any...
He doesn't want any power. He just wants to be a simple-ass man and just live his goddamn life.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I assume next episode you'll be seeing them make preparations all across the board. I think despite what Sansa wants, Dany has now won the loyalty of the North, probably. Probably.
I mean, what's left of them.
Which I don't know what that is because all of them were supposed to be staying at Winterfell. So,
yeah.
You know, I guess we'll see what happens with that. But
and, like, how many there actually are.
It's so sad. Knowing that this series started with not just people we love, but just an abundance of them, right?
And now we're just, like, at a handful.
Yeah, like, handful of houses, a handful of, like, probably towns, given all the warring parties that have just traveled through them and probably killed and
But, like, hey, maybe them. Now those second cousins, if they're still alive, they got a chance to be the main family.
Not at the... That makes me think about Jaime. The one he killed in Rob's little prison cage thing. So sad. But yeah, it's been a good hour and a half talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to the fallen. I don't think I'll miss Jorah. I won't miss Ed. I'll miss Lyanna.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. I'll miss Theon. Even if he wasn't Theon at the end entirely, I'll miss that arc, that redemptive arc. Any closing thoughts?
Let's see what happens next, bitches.
Oh my god. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time here on Nerd Spectrum. Do you want to do one for Sunday then?
What?
Do you want to do these episode by episode, or do you want to do it in halves?
We can do episode by episode. There's only 3 left. Fuck it.
Alright, so yeah, we'll be back on Sunday with a Game of Thrones review, or Monday with a Game of Thrones review, and then Saturday, Endgame.
Woo!
Woo! That was a bad snap.
That was.
That sounded like a... Alright, SpongeBob, take a chill pill. I hate you.